Hello my people and welcome to another day of stories. I'm excited. Can you tell I'm excited? New lens. Look at this lens. It's like way more wide angle and perfect and amazing. I'm just so excited. I also got a new camera, so I am super jazzed today. That being said, still working on the settings and learning all those things, so it might be a little bit off this week, but I'll get there and you're coming along with me. Speaking of coming along with me, if this is your first time on the channel, please click that subscribe button, then Quasimodo the bell. That way you always know when there's a new story, which happens to be on Fridays. Also click the like button because thumbs up is thumbs up. Without further ado, let's roll. Today's story is about my most favorite time ever playing a game that I very much enjoy, known as Blackjack. Before we get going, if you are not a fan of gambling, I understand. Totally get that. Don't be a dink. Don't do stupid things when it comes to gambling. If you're gonna take some money, only use that money. Don't go to the ATM. Don't do stupid things. Be wise. If you're going, you're probably gonna lose your money. You need to recognize that Vegas was not built by paying people lots of money, but that you can go just have enjoyment playing the game. If you're smart with the gambling, you can have a lot of fun. Some of you might be saying, Matt, why do you even play blackjack? That's just such a waste of money. Well, let me just say this to you. Because the house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes around, you bet big. And then you take the house. Also, there's any number of things that people spend and waste tons of money on all the time, and they do it in the name of entertainment. Myself and a few of my buddies like to go down to Vegas about once a year, and when we go down there, we go with the intention of gambling. And we just basically hit the strip for 2 days straight and hardly even sleep. It's amazing, and we always have so much fun, and it's just a really awesome, fun time. Well, this one year, I decided that I wanted to go big, and I know for some of you this is not going big, but for me, this was a big deal. And I plotted on what I wanted to do, and what I had rolling around in the old brain pan was to play $1,000 hand of blackjack. Yes, that's terrifying. Just like going to the Super Bowl and paying $1,000 for a ticket at the Super Bowl, I decided I was going to save up $1,000 and put it on one hand, just one hand of blackjack. Win, walk away. Lose, obviously still walk away, but not nearly as happy. I saved my money and we got there, and I decided, you know what? I want to go Ocean's 11 style. I'm going to the Bellagio high rollers room, baby. Let's go. Which is not actually a room so much as a tiny cubby kind of in the Bellagio. I expected something different. I walk in and politely request the ability to only play one hand of blackjack. Of course you can play only one hand. Would you like a drink? Yes, I would like a Red Bull. I anticipate it being the most expensive I've ever paid for in my entire life. And they were so cool about it. They gave me a giant Red Bull, like really big one, not a small one, but big. They were very kind there. That's how you know you're in the high rollers room. I said, which table is $1,000 a hand? And they pointed to this gentleman who was sitting there. He said, sit down, buddy. So I did. And I laid out my money right in front of me, and I got one chip, $1,000 chip, which, by the way, feels amazing when you put that in your hand, knowing that it's got that extra zero on it. Like $100 chip, those are blacks normally, and they feel great. But the 1,000, that extra zero, just a little more weighty, you know, pretty awesome. Place that down. I'm playing one-on-one against a dealer. He shuffles, deals me my cards. Now, I will say my very least favorite hand to get in blackjack of all the hands, because it is the most annoying thing, because if you get a 10, you're done, and it's just so painful and awful, and I got a 12. And the worst part was the dealer was showing a 9. Got a hit. I tapped the table, signifying to the dealer that I would like another card. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the table tapping procedures in casinos, that tells them, hit me, I want one more card. He does so, and I get a 6. That happens to come to 18. 18 is a very respectable hand in blackjack, but it is soul crushing if the dealer has a 10 under there and you're holding and he's got a 9, because that's 19. You see, blackjack teaches math. I have to hold there because, well, I'm not about to take another card on 18. That'd just be crazy talk. And in case you forgot, there's $1,000 on the table. Dealer flips over his card and he's got a 9 and sitting at 13, the dealer must hit, and there's a whole slew of numbers that will make him not be able to continue playing, aka bust. And so he draws that next card, and everything inside me kind of went, ugh. Now, my own personal rule when it comes to gambling is if you put money on the table and you begin to feel that kind of, you have put too much money on the table and you shouldn't be betting that because you're not comfortable with it. It's making you feel uneasy. That's something you try to avoid. However, this was absolutely planned asphyxiation because I knew I was going to feel that. And sure enough, as soon as that $1,000 chip left my hand onto the table, it was kind of like, dealer flips over his card and it's another 4, baby! If you think that reaction was intense, you should have been there. He gives me a fist bump, says, nice job, man. And I say, thank you, thank you. He says, do you want to go again? I said, no. No, because I told myself I wasn't going to, even though there was that pull. You have to avoid the pull. Check into our hotel, I go to the room, I put my $2,000 in the safe, and I go have a really wonderful rest of my trip, because that trip, not only did I win that $1,000 hand, I just kept on winning. I went home with way more money than it cost me to go to Vegas. That was the only time that that's happened. Normally Vegas, she takes me down, but that perfect hand came around and I bet big. And I took the house. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I will see you next Friday, and until then, keep telling stories.